I think today's world, a lot of people try to complicate success. And I think society has tried to tell, us, like, you have to come from a certain family or have a certain skin color or pray to a certain God or go to the best university. But I look at what's happened to me going from, broke in a dorm room to, multimillionaire.
Yo, welcome to another episode of the Founder Podcast. Today I am joined by Mr. Alex Morton. Alex is a serial entrepreneur, in the multi-level marketing space. Network marketing. He has crushed the game. He is also a mindset coach. He's got 1 million followers on Instagram, has built a big following, spoken on stages throughout the country, probably throughout the world.
Yeah,
am I right?
Yeah, 76 countries.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So welcome to the show, Alex.
Hey man, appreciate you having me.
Dude, so good to have you here. So Alex, man, you're 34 years old.
In 2 weeks. I'm still 33.
Still 33. Dang, still a young buck. I turned 40 in February, so happy big 4-0 coming up. But man, you've been able to accomplish so much in so little time. Tell us some of your secrets to your success.
Yeah, I mean, I think today's world, a lot of people try to complicate success. And I think society has tried to tell, us, like, you have to come from a certain family or have a certain skin color or pray to a certain God or go to the best university. But I look at what's happened to me going from, broke in a dorm room to, multimillionaire. I would say work ethic is still one of the biggest components of my success because growing up, 2.9 GPA in high school.
Wow.
Applied to Indiana. They told me no.
Where'd you grow up at?
Bexley, Ohio.
Oh, baby. OHIO.
2
Ohio.
pizza parlors, 2 ice cream shops.
Okay.
And I was fortunate to have mom and dad. They own an insurance agency.
All right.
So I saw
they did pretty good.
Yeah. So they did good. I mean, definitely good. I didn't grow up poor.
Class,
yeah, we were like upper middle class, couple of vacations a year. But I saw work ethic at a young age. So when I got older, I just thought working, eyes open, eyes closed for a season of your life, that was just normal.
Yeah.
So I know we're going to get into it, but I really still think the backbone of most people I've met, their success is still the hustle, the grind, the figuring it out, and the working your ass off for a season of your life. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And how is that grind still going? You still feel like you're nose in, or are you kind of changing seasons?
It's different. I mean, when I had $400 to my name at 21 years old, and I'm looking at my first compensation plan in the direct sales industry, right? Back then it was like, dude, I don't have any money. Like I'm broke. I need to get money. I need to get rich. I need to get wealthy. Today, thank God, being pretty financially independent, it's kind of shifted from like desperation to, inspiration. Like one of the greatest joys I get now is helping people get to 5, 10, 20, 50,000 bucks a month and their whole lives completely change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the same. It's still the same effort, but I would say I'm working a lot smarter today.
A lot more leverage.
Yes. Yeah. Technology, Zoom. I realized COVID really taught me such a great lesson because I was on a plane every 48 to 72 hours for basically 2011 to COVID. I mean, literally just 76 countries from Honduras to Nigeria to Dubai. I mean, everywhere. I was doing events, speaking, enrolling people.
Were you doing this as a married man?
I've been married 3 years now.
Okay.
So a lot of this was
pre-marriage.
Pre-marriage.
Yeah.
Single. And now today my wife comes most of the places, with me. But COVID showed me like, hey, instead of flying everywhere here and there, dude, you can sit on Zoom in your shorts,
right,
and talk to 10,000 people.
It's amazing.
And our business, 4X, literally quadrupled during COVID because of freaking technology.
It's amazing. We came to a similar, basically stance in our position or in our business. Previously, I came from the door-to-door world, right? So door-to-door sales, absolute hustle. You're out there, you're grinding, but you're in front of one door at a time, right? I knock one door, I have potentially one person to answer, and I could potentially sell one person. Versus when I launched my business, I was like, look, I know the background of my business. I have 11 years in this space, and I've leveraged teams of door knockers and all this stuff, and that's been my leverage up until this point. But at the same time, the biggest struggle I have is I cannot personally be in front of all these doors. I can't replicate myself perfectly. Right. And so when we launched our business, it was like, man, we're not going to be in this door-to-door space anymore. We're going to figure out internet marketing and do digital door knocking instead of one door at a time, 10,000 screens at a time. Right? And so we were able to create that similar leverage and build out a virtual sales floor and whatnot. Nice. So it's such a blessing that we have with this technology.
It's insane. And I talk to the younger guys now. Like I'm going to Phoenix tomorrow doing like a sales training thing for some groups and stuff. And it's like, you have no idea how difficult it was back then. Like I remember when Facebook was just getting going, I would post a status, 2 likes, mom and my little sister.
Right.
Now I'm like, you can live stream on Instagram, talk to 100 countries at one time.
It's wild.
Providing value, selling, pitching, closing, whatever it is you're doing. Like I remember the days where I would be in 3 different people's living rooms in Arizona every night, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock training. And now you can do so much.
It's unbelievable.
On the computer.
At what point did you like really hit that technology platform? Because you started this business when you were 21 years old, right? And so at that point you were doing living rooms and all the things, right? Yeah. So at what point did you say, hey, technology, I can use that? I
really think it didn't go aha moment until COVID. And I still travel. Like I was I'm about to be in Monterrey, Mexico, Lima, Peru, Montreal, Toronto. I'm still doing that because I still think live events is where you really get the emotional buy-in. People are in tears. You're doing the incantations. You're getting together. You're building a community, But on the day-to-day grind, you can accomplish so much on Zoom and, on the cell phone.
Yeah, you bring up a strong point. It's because we've switched so much over to this digital world. There's tons of solopreneurs, people that work from home, never interact with a real physical human being, that they actually yearn for those in-person events. Right. And that's why in-person events over the last few years have made such a big comeback.
Oh, yeah. You see them everywhere now.
Yeah, it's like, man, I just want to be among the people, feel it, jive with it. So that's pretty awesome. So, dude, obviously you didn't start out rich. You didn't start out with everything figured out. Like, at what point did it click like, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to go and hustle, grind, make this happen for myself?
Yeah, well, I was 16 years old. Entourage on HBO first came out. Yeah. And we had like a little watch party at my buddy Taylor's house. And I remember in Bexley, Ohio, most people were doing decent. But I don't think there was one Rolls Royce in the neighborhood. Maybe one. I never saw it though, So I'm just watching this show and it's like young people traveling the world, having fun, spending money. And I was 16, so I didn't know about too much entrepreneurship and all of that, right? I knew about Rich Dad Poor Dad and stuff at a younger age, but I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't know what that is.
But I want it.
Yeah. And I remember driving home, 1998 Ford Expedition, maroon color. Rain was coming on the windshield, man. I was thinking, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. So at 18, I go to Arizona State University at the time, #1 party school in the country. And I get into real estate. Actually, it was my first kind of entry. Yeah. Okay. So I get into residential real estate because of a TV show again, $1 million listing. So I get my real estate license at 18. I started working for a couple, cool dudes teaching me the business, and I'm getting little commission checks here and there. And I'm thinking, dude, this is pretty cool. I got no boss. This isn't a job. I pick my hours and I can create my own income.
Right.
And that kind of set me up for when I was 21, seeing the possibility of literally unlimited earning potential. And I got into that sucker and just went, balls to the wall.
And so obviously hard work pays off, but like, what was the turning point where it's like opportunity met luck, met, like what were like the big points in your career?
Yeah. So very fortunate. The first network marketing company I was pitched was a company with a healthy energy drink in the height of Red Bull, Rockstar, Monster, 5-Hour Energy, Gatorade, Powerade, Starbucks. Yeah. So I'm sitting there. I said no. I said no 7 times. Like I was one of those guys. Illegal, pyramid, pessimistic. This is. And what did it for me was a guy walks in on meeting number 7. He's 25 years old. He's making $10,000 per week.
Wow.
And he showed me. back then, 10 grand a week to me.
That was awesome.
Dude, I'm buying the New York Yankees.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? So I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go all in. So my big thing, and this is what I tell people, if you see another human being doing something, I firmly and fully believe you can too.
Absolutely.
And that was my light bulb moment. I said, if this guy never even went to college, 40 grand a month, he's gonna teach me how to do it. All I gotta do is work my ass off, and I'm gonna get the same damn result.
So I want to point out just something that's like so important there.
Yeah.
Like most people, when they see somebody doing something better than them, they don't necessarily have that mindset. Like that is a principle of success, is that you have to have that mindset. Most people react in a way of like jealousy or envy.
Yep.
They're like, man, why does that guy, like what privilege did he have? Where did he get lucky along the line? What did his parents give him? What does he have that I don't have, or I have no opportunity in front of me? Versus, man, if that sucker can do it, I can too.
And that's big. I don't understand the envy thing, man.
Right.
Like I see someone doing bigger, better, whatever word you want to use there. I get inspired.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like my dad always said, don't get too hyped on your own success. He said, don't read too much into your press clippings, right?
Yeah.
Because I became the youngest and fastest ever to make $1 million in, whatever, network marketing.
What point was that? How old were you?
24.
24. That's
24
awesome.
years old,
Awesome.
right?
Your first $1 million.
At 24. But it's like now being almost 34, I look back and I'm like, dude, $1 million, who gives a damn? You know what I mean? But back then I'm getting all hyped up.
Right.
So sometimes we think we're this all-star because we're only looking at the people in our swimming pool. But you go to another swimming pool and you're like, dude, there's people doing major things. So you're exactly right. When you see someone driving something nicer than you or living better than you, man, get inspired and learn from people. Like I got no ego.
Yep.
Like I'll take notes. I take notes from everybody. I don't give a damn.
I love
it. I'm always trying to learn and get better.
I love it, man. Ego gets in the way of more entrepreneurs than like anything. I think that is like the ultimate. So many people are like, I already know enough. That guy, he doesn't know more than me or whatever. Versus like, man, I'm just a lifetime student, just trying to be the best Alex Morton, the best Chris Lee that can possibly be. You know? I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. Dude, what's inspiring you right now? Like, what are you excited about in life?
Taking what I've done in one space, and it's a big ass space, man. Network marketing, it's freaking nuts. We got 4,000 people showing up in Monterrey, Mexico. We got 5,000 people showing up in Lima, Peru. We just did an event in Croatia with 8,500 people.
Love Croatia.
Like it's big. Like it's a big swimming pool. Yeah. But I'm excited to kind of take that knowledge and experience and tactics and philosophies and transfer it into more of like a wider macro.
Tell me how that works when you're traveling to these countries. Obviously, you don't speak their language. Is it just like live translation? Do most of these people know English? Like, tell me how that works.
Some European countries, because they're smarter. I mean, it is. I was born in America, man, but dude, it's like people over here. It's tough to speak English, right? You go to other countries, they're speaking 2, 3, 4, 5 languages.
Right.
My wife is not from America. She speaks like 8 languages. Iran and UAE.
Oh, nice.
So Arabic and Persian.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did she grow up in like Dubai area or where?
Yeah, Abu Dhabi.
Oh, awesome.
Right, and then she grew up in Sweden.
Beautiful.
So Mike, I was like, wow, this is crazy, because you go talk to people down the street in Vegas, they can barely speak, English. But you go to like Germany, these countries, they all speak English. It's unbelievable. So in a lot of European countries, it is English. But like you go to Poland, we got a translator. You go to Peru, it's a translator.
So like, how difficult is it to get across your message? Because I went and spoke in France. Okay. And those guys refused to speak English. Like,
oh no, France is different,
dude. They're like, no, French. The English, like they hate the UK, everything like that, right? And so like everything was through a translator, and I would like drop a good like bomb, and it would like take a second for it to sink in. Like how have you like navigated that?
After doing this now for over a decade, it sucks to say it, but I think a lot of it actually has to do with the translator. Right. So what I try to do and what the teams try to do is they try to find somebody that has the potential to match my energy and tonality. So even if some of the words get jumbled up, they're still feeling it. Yeah. And they get, because it's like Tony Robbins says, like what, 20% of communication is the words. Right. Everything else is tonality, physiology. Right. So like when I went to Egypt, we had a guy who brings the fire, just like me. So even if he was missing every third or fourth word, the audience still got the message.
Yeah. So tell me about a time. So, I mean, obviously you've had a lot of success. Like, when was a time that you were on the brink of failure, or that you've been kicked in the knees and, felt like giving up? Like, walk us through something like that.
Yeah, I went through it, man. I went from like rock bottom to rock star, we say, in my first company. I was on the side of the Phoenix Suns arena, like on a billboard for our company. It was crazy. It's like you almost become like a fake celebrity. Right. Everyone wants selfies and photos, and I'm signing books and T-shirts and iPhones. I'll never forget some of these things. And I go back to my hotel room after talking to my cousin who traveled a lot of the world with me. And I'm like, I'm literally signing iPhones in Ecuador. It's just weird, right? Because we're all normal people.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, rock bottom, rock star, straight back to rock bottom, man. I mean, when I left my first company, it actually got temporarily shut down. And because I was the biggest name and catalyst for success, I got a lot of the, hate. So I'm sitting here at like 25-ish, and it's bad, man. Like, there was actually a period of time, a lot of people don't know this, Bob Proctor was my mentor for over a decade, but there was actually a period of time where me and him didn't even speak because he was even getting wrong information on my decision-making process. So long story short, I was getting crazy DMs, Facebook messages. I'll never forget the moment I'm in Vegas and somebody tweeted at me, I can't make this stuff up, I hope you and your family die in a car crash. So I'm getting blamed for a $300 million company getting shut down. Obviously, it wasn't one solo person,
Right.
But I'm sitting there, I'm 25 to 30 pounds overweight. I made, close to $2 million in my first company. I'm down to less than 100 grand. It's all a true story. Poor money management. I've never made money in my life, so I'm buying this buying that. 26 maybe, 25, 26.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting at the time in Scottsdale, Arizona, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. And I remember, man, just like praying, like saying, you know what, if you just give me one more opportunity, God, I promise this time, no ego, all humility. I won't even talk about my income. I'll just make it all about people, because you start giving 22, 23-year-old kids 10, 20, 30, 40, 80, $100,000 a month, things get a little out of control.
Absolutely.
Right? So I was down and out, man. I mean, really, I don't know if that was depression. It was definitely anxiety. But I was not feeling great. But what kept me going was personal development and this whole idea in my head that, like, I don't know who said it, but if you can look up, you can get up. And I kept telling myself, Alex, if you built it once, you can build it again, because those skills, you'll carry those skills with you. No matter where you go, it's like there you are. Like Tom Brady, right? Mm-hmm. Patriots, you put him on the Buccaneers, son of a bitch wins a damn Super Bowl. Right. You know what I mean? Like wherever you are, hey, that's where you are.
Right.
So yeah, but that was a tough moment, man.
Man, so what brings you most like fulfillment and joy? Because obviously you've had the financial success. Like, have you found joy in that, or like where do you find your joy these days?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely proud of myself. I really carry a lot of. I think about my I don't know if it's the right word is ancestors, but I think about both sides of my lineage. One side, Armenian genocide. The Turks tried to exterminate all the Armenian people. People post about it every year. Like Kim Kardashian's a big advocate for this. And the other side was the Holocaust. And people forget that was 80 years ago. So, it's like, dude, it wasn't that long ago, right?
Less than grandma.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like a sicko, man, in a good way. Like I channel some of these things to keep me pushing and pushing. So I know like my ancestors and all of that are proud of me. But at this point, my fulfillment, it is not in the material stuff, man. Like I tell everybody, you want this Lamborghini or Rolls Royce, you get it. You don't let anybody drink Starbucks in it. Nobody's allowed to eat in it for the first 3 months. And all of a sudden it becomes a damn car. Like my Rolls Royce outside, dude, I got freaking protein bar wrappers on the floors. So a car is just a car at the end of the day, right? Watch this and that. I get fulfillment. When I met my wife, it gave me a lot more, I guess, deeper meaning.
Absolutely.
In purpose. I'm not a father yet, but my fulfillment comes from just, I wake up every day and I get to do what I genuinely love to do.
So what does a day in your life look like?
Well, when I'm not well, when I'm traveling and stuff, like tomorrow, like Phoenix. So I land at 11:15 in the morning. I'm going to, you probably know him, Cody Sperber, clever investor. So I'm going to go speak at his thing and then do a podcast with him. Then I go to another podcast that night. Then I have a team training that night. Then I go to dinner, go to bed, wake up, go to the gym. And then I have an event for our company. So I'm doing the things I love to do. A lot of it has to do with training, recruiting, training, mindset, you know, sales stuff. So I just, what was taught to me, I get to give to the world. Like the things that allowed me to do the things I've been able to do, I get to now teach to other people. So my fulfillment comes from obviously wife, parents, family. I'm a big family guy. I just think it's awesome.
Yeah.
And helping people.
And
because
you mentioned you're a big faith-based guy. So like,
I believe in God big time.
Yeah, tell us about that. Like, how does that help shape and direct you?
I just think, and you'll get a lot of different perspectives. I mean, I had a college roommate that was an atheist. You know, I got friends from literally every religious background. A lot of very, very serious, focused, I guess you could say, Christianity, faith. You know, Jesus, I have people that I got friends that pray 5 times a day with the Quran. Yeah. So to me, it's like, it brings me peace to know, I don't know, it's this whole idea of like getting on your knees and praying to remember how like quote unquote small you are in the eyes of like the creator, you know, all present, all knowing. I would love to believe it is all love, even though there's lots of bad things that take place on this physical earth, you know? So it gives me a sense of like, I'm here for a reason. I was created for a purpose. And I just believe in trusting in God. Like, I know some people try to say, oh, like everything happens for a reason. That's bullshit. It doesn't make sense. It's 2023. Wake up. I believe everything does.
I couldn't agree
happen
more.
For a reason.
You know, and I think like to your exact point, like giving you meaning, giving you direction. I think so many people lack meaning and direction in today's society, right? When it's all about just themselves, right? Like getting on your knees, going before your creator, realizing that you are just such a small aspect in the greater universe, right? Like that's so powerful. And to understand that like God has created this experience specifically for you. Like that is such a powerful thing for me every single day, to know that like all things happen for a reason because God cares for me as a son of God.
Yeah. And I believe in karmic energy. I really believe what we give, we get. Maybe it's 5-fold, maybe it's 10-fold. I don't know. But throughout my day, just the little things that nobody sees. It's like you're at a red light and there's a woman there and she's got a sign and it says, I'm trying to feed my kids. Maybe she's addicted to fentanyl and lying. Maybe she's telling you the truth. But guess what? If I got a $10 bill, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely.
You know, like holding the door for people. Like I really feel like it's the little things that we you know, everybody right now in America, all over the world, we want to make it, you know, let's make America great again. Let's all get back to this. Let's get back to that. No more violence and murder and all this stuff. But it's like, how do you live your daily life? Right. Do you hold the door for old people? If you're on a plane, it blows my mind. Like we fly commercial 99% of the time, right? It blows my mind where it's like you see an elderly lady or maybe an out of shape woman. She's like struggling with putting her bags up or getting the bags down. And grown men just sit there. Right. I'm like, do none of you think to just help someone who's struggling? It's like, where did the humanity go? Well,
the reality is like we as humans just like act as if we're in a simulation and that people aren't real. Like and it's just like my life is the only thing that matters, right? And like, and if it's not impacting me, it's not real, right? And so rather than being, to your point, like being outside of yourself, and right, when you get outside of yourself, I believe that's where real joy happens, and that is like centered in faith, centered in God.
Yeah, I feel like people that believe in something bigger than themselves, I don't know, for the most of the time, I'm not saying they're better people, but they're just.
But they are.
they're more inclined to help, give, you know, serve. Like you hear all these like, because like we know people that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars every year and billions of dollars. Do they blow their head off? They take pills. They die in a bathtub. Right. So it's not just, oh, if I just make a ton of money, I'm going to be happy. Dude, no, you're not. Like I'll never forget Lima, Peru, walking off stage. I took 1,000 selfies with people. that wanted to take a picture with me. This is years and years ago. I think I made 800 grand that month, an exceptional amount of money. I'm still in my 20s. I go back to the hotel. Dude, I am sadder than I couldn't understand why I was so sad. Sad, sitting on the edge of the bed, man. Like tears. I'm like, why am I unhappy? You know, I just didn't have, I was making things that really aren't important, and I was missing out on the real, like the purpose and the fulfillment. That's why I give so much credit to my wife. And that's why she's always number one, because like that gave me so much just depth.
So dig into that a little bit more. Like where were your priorities misaligned?
Something was just missing. I don't know what the heck it was. Like I was doing what I was doing what I love to do. I don't know if I was number one at that time, but I was top 5 in the world in my profession. But there was something missing. And I think it was an actual deep, meaningful connection with a girl. Like there were girl rules, but it was all bullshit, right. You know? And when I found that, like, I don't know who said it. It's like one woman is worth more than 1,000 B word. You know what I mean? Absolutely. But it's the truth, though.
It's absolutely true. So I don't know if you know this about me, but I've been married since I was 21.
Wow.
Right. And
Congrats.
So, yeah, me and my wife, we just celebrated our 18th anniversary.
Wow. What's the secret?
Man, the secret is serving and loving each other. And like love as an action, right? Not love as a feeling. Right. And, so for us, like, I've really known no difference, but it's always giving, to your point, like so much fulfillment to me. And like sometimes my wife, she's like, well, do you want to talk or whatnot? I'm like, no, I just want to be around you. I want to be around your good energy. Like for me, she's like my anchor during those difficult times, right. During those times where like, and she keeps me grounded. Yeah. You know, especially when you are having this type of influence that you're experiencing, right? 1,000 selfies, people are just praising your name, signing cell phones or whatnot, right? Like having an anchor that helps you remind, like two people anchor me more than anything, my wife and my God, right? Like those things bring me back to earth and realize Chris Lee, he's not that cool, right? Like Chris Lee can do cool things, right? But he's not better than other people, right? And that for me has just helped me manage success in so many different ways.
Yeah, she reminds me, she brings me back to earth. My parents do that as well. Yeah. Because sometimes you can get lost in the sauce, man. Listen, I've worked with a lot of young guys that have made hundreds of thousands a year, some of them hundreds of thousands a month, and then, it hits the fan and money's gone and they're in a state of whatever that is, depression. It's real. It's tough.
Because their identity is attached to that fruit that they've experienced rather than what they're becoming, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So obviously you speak on sales, you speak on mindset. Give us some of the secret sauces that you share about mindset. Like what are some of your best practices in keeping a good mindset?
Yeah. I mean, for one, it's always important to have clarity. Yeah. I think a lot of people, they go to these.
What is the definition of clarity?
Writing it down. I mean, I think like for me, so I remember sitting down with one of my first mentors in my profession. His name was Tom in San Diego. And he said, I want you to write out life as you would like it to be. And I didn't really understand it. I'm 21, 22 years old. Right. But he said, Alex at 30, what makes that person happy? Right. So I teach our, 18-year-olds, 25-year-olds, like, what does happiness look like to you? Well, what do you mean? What does it look like to you? Like, you have to get clear. Well, this car, what kind of car? What color's the car? What color's the interior? Where are you? I want a mansion. Where's the mansion? Right. What's it look like?
And why? Why do you?
Right. And our mind thinks in pictures. Yeah. Like when we say, think of mom, you don't see MOM, you see a photo of your mom. So number one, getting clear on what you want and where you're going. Number two, you can have the best mindset on the planet. You have to have a good vehicle. Like there's a lot of talented people, but they're in a Toyota Camry when they should be in a freaking LaFerrari. Right. What does that mean? That means you need to be in something. If you don't have a lot of capital, you need to be in something with unlimited earning potential. If I do this, if I put in this result and work and effort, how much can I really earn, on this deal? And one of the practices that really helped me was taking that vision and getting clear, but then making a present tense goal.
I love it.
Like this is what we teach people. I am so happy and grateful now that whatever it is. And instead of, because people say, oh, I want this car, I want this house, I want this amount of money, I want this marriage. But when you say I want, you keep throwing in the future.
Yeah.
So when you say, I am great, I am successful, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am wise, right? Now I'm owning it. Yeah. And at 21, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I am a millionaire. Like I believed at my core, I was a millionaire.
I love it.
When I didn't have any money. But what happens is you attract all of that. You attract the people, the places, the opportunities, the mentors into your life to actually bring you this physical goal. And we got to understand everything begins in the mind. Like everything is spiritual. These Nike, these shoes, someone thought about the damn shoe.
Absolutely.
And then drew it on paper and then physically made it.
Yeah, and the reality is you will never attract, you will never notice, you will never see things that you aren't looking for, that you haven't previously thought about, written out, created that perfect scenario.
Yeah.
And that's similar to a very like a daily best practice that I try to live. I have a journal where every day I say, who is Chris Lee? Right? And I say, I am, and it's just like all the things that I want to be, right? I am a giver. I am a billionaire. I am somebody that always chooses others before myself. I am somebody that I always do the dishes. Whatever it is, like ways that, and as I write it every single day, right? Then when it presents itself in real life, I have the opportunity to act because I remember this is what I said I was going to be, so I must act in accordance.
Right.
So,
and it's built on that belief system.
Yeah.
Right. Our belief system is created by the things we see, hear, and experience.
Yeah. I love that from James Clear. You read his book, Atomic Habits. Have you read it?
I've listened to some of that.
Oh man, it is the best book.
Yeah.
One of the things he talks about is that the number one way to change your habits, you can change a bunch of different things in order to get your habits, but the number one thing is changing your identity and what you believe about yourself.
Love it.
Right? And so if you're quitting smoking and somebody offers you a cigarette, you don't say, hey, I'm quitting. You say, I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker, right? Like there's difference in saying I'm not a smoker versus I'm quitting.
Absolutely.
I gave it up or whatever else, right? And the shift of identity and self-belief really drives 99.9% of our actions.
Well, that's where it all starts.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, because a lot of Bob's teachings were esoterical, think and grow rich, spiritual laws, all these things.
Absolutely.
And I said, listen, if you show me any great UFC, boxer, quarterback, big influencer, Jordan, LeBron, Curry, like they all practice these things unconsciously. Like Tom Brady's in the locker room visualizing the place, winning the game before the game. Like Mike Tyson said, before I walked into the damn ring, I saw my opponent on the mat. Knocked out.
Love it.
Then I went, and Conor McGregor, he was called. I mean, it's unbelievable. This guy's just incredible, man. He would get on the interviews and say, 3rd round knockout. And he'd go knock people out in the 3rd round. He would freaking tell you how he was going to do it, and then he would do it. It's on YouTube. People can go look it up. It up.
Amazing. Have you ever heard the story about the prisoner of war? I think it was World War II. He was a golfer. Oh my goodness, this one's awesome. I forget exactly his name, but this guy, prisoner of war, was like 2 years in the 1940s during World War II, right? Every day to get through the day, he would imagine playing 18 holes.
Wow.
And he would walk through every scenario, making the hit, walking between the hit to the ball, and like literally just visualized a round of golf every single day for 2 years. He gets out of prison, he gets released. He goes back to America. He shaved like 15 strokes off of his game.
Oh my God.
Just by visualizing it for 2 years and never actually physically playing golf, he shaved 15 strokes off of his. It was like unbelievable.
It's insane. But this is a supercomputer.
Yes.
I mean, it's like the GPS system, navigational system of our lives. Like I tell people, here's the mindset stuff. The mind needs 3 things. It needs a focus, it needs a direction, and it needs a hero.
Absolutely.
It's like, what do you focus on? What's your strategy and blueprint? And what's the hero? I tell people you can have mentors and you can have people that inspire you, but your hero needs to be you in 10 years.
I love it. I love it. And you create that today, right? Awesome. Dude, so such good, powerful messages. What are like some of your daily routines? Are you a big morning routine guy, or like what are like some things that like you never settle on, you always make sure to get done? Like how do you obviously you're well disciplined. Tell us about that.
Wake up and pray. Most people wake up, they grab their phone, they act like Justin Bieber's, texting them or something, like checking their phone and all that. People have to realize the first 20 minutes upon waking up is when our subconscious mind is the most open.
Yes.
So if you wake up right away and you get on your feeds and all you see is negativity,
garbage,
violence, murder, division, all these things, dude, your day is not going to go as well as it could, because you're programming yourself now for frustration and anger and worry and doubt and envy and jealousy and all these things. So I wake up, I don't touch my phone, and I sit there and have a conversation with God. I really do. I've been doing this every day since my grandma passed away Christmas morning over 10 years ago. Seriously. I wake up, I pray, I get right with the number one, right? And then every night before I go to sleep, I have my Google Calendar planned out. So when I wake up, I already know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think most people screw up because they wake up and they say, I'm going to build my business today. I'm going to go sell houses today. I'm going to go sell some life policies today and insurance, or go knock door to door and solar. But it's like, don't go to bed tonight until you know what you're doing tomorrow. So when you wake up, all you have to do is execute. So, pray, plan out the night before. I'm big on at least doing 35 to an hour of some type of either weight training or cardio. I love doing cardio and listening to music and just zoning out.
So what's your favorite? You running on the treadmill? What do you like?
Incline walk.
Nice.
Like high incline, 3.5, 4 speed. And I'm getting a little bit older now, so I can't be out there sprinting, messing up my knees. But just that's like my time.
Yes.
And I get on there.
5 days a week, 7 days a week? How
yeah,
often?
I mean, probably 5 to 6 days a week.
Nice.
I'm a big sauna guy. Freaking love it.
Yes.
I like taking cold, ice cold showers.
Are you a cold plunge guy? You done any of that?
We don't have a plunge because we travel so much, but our new spot in Miami, we'll have a plunge on the balcony.
Love it.
I'll be posting it for sure, getting in there, freezing my off. But there's a lot of science on that too.
Yes.
But on the sauna deal, I'm not a doctor, but they're saying if you sauna 4 to 5 times a week at 160 degrees Fahrenheit or more for 20 minutes, you're decreasing heart disease by like 40%.
It's wild.
And you feel amazing. Yeah. Sweating, detox, like going from a hot sauna into cold water. There's not many things that beat how you feel when you're done with that, man.
Have you studied Huberman's podcast at all?
I watched some of his stuff.
Some of his stuff. Have you seen like the cold plunge or different things? Oh my! I
mean, everyone's plunging.
Yeah. And he's the one that's driving like the science behind it. He's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. They actually say start off the day with cold plunge, right? Like it's the first thing you should do. And then you heat up through exercise and then finish with sauna.
Okay.
Right. Versus like they actually say that if you cold plunge after the fact, it actually deteriorates some of your muscle growth. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah. But there's so many health benefits to just that whole mix right there.
And then I'm big on like supplements too. I mean, Gary Brecka is a very dear friend of mine. Okay. The story that he shares on stage where it was, he says it was either going to be payroll or like my mortgage payment, and he paid his people. I'm the one that actually gave him the seed money for Streamline Medical before 10X Health.
Oh, wow.
So we talk a lot. So he has me on like the most cutting edge things. I'm like obsessed with trying to like live a long, long time. Like my wife thinks I'm nuts. Yeah. Like, why do you want to even be here that long? Like, this place is kind of getting a little like doom and gloom, And I'm like, we can get to 120.
Yeah.
So I'm like into the biohacking,
all the things
stuff, feeling good. I just like, why not feel as good as you can?
I love it. Have you seen that new Lumen device? Oh man, I'll have to show it.
Is that a sleep thing or no?
So I do the sleep thing too. I got the Oura Ring. Yep. The Lumen actually tests your breath and it tells you how much fat you're burning at the moment.
Wow.
Whether you're burning fat or carbs and how you rotate in between. We'll talk about it afterwards. But
so much science,
dude. There's so many cool, just like biohacking things out there. I love it. I love that you're obsessed with it. I'm very similar. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and so it's a little bit more difficult. My body reacts differently than most human beings, but man, I am like obsessed with like prolonging my life and making it just the best Chris possible, right? And making that happen. So you said, begin with the end in mind. So what does 20 years from now, 54-year-old, 53-year-old Alex Morton look like? What is it? What's different? What goals you have on the?
First, incredible husband, incredible father.
How many kids?
At least 2.
Nice.
Probably in the next 1 to 2 years.
Cool.
We're trying to see what's going to happen in 2024 with the world first.
Yeah.
Because it's a little scary.
It is a little scary. Every year is scary.
It is, man. Traveling the world, flying around the world, getting paid a lot of money to speak and help. Not because I'm going to need the money, because I'm not going to need the money. Just because it's like I'm worth that. Like I know Gary Vee's $400,000. So it's like, okay, like I can get there too, right? So speaking all over the world, helping people. Super in shape, super healthy.
What does super in shape look like?
10% body fat.
At 54.
10% body fat, lean muscle mass. Just living life on purpose and making a friggin' big difference. Like, I love the quote, I want to spend the first half of my life making money, the second half giving it all away.
Yeah. So what does it look like you making a difference? Because it's easy to say these big and cool things,
I agree.
right?
I agree.
What is making a difference and changing the world for you?
Continue to. So here's the deal: the things that come out of my mouth, it stemmed from Andrew Carnegie, who was the wealthiest man in the world at one point.
Yeah.
Okay. Then came Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich.
Yep.
Then it was Earl Nightingale, who hired young Bob Proctor as his VP of sales. Bob Proctor meets me at $400 per month, takes me to, whatever, multi-deca millionaire. So now I feel like that torch is in my hands. I'm texting Bob on his deathbed, and basically it's like, it's your time now, go. Like, keep spreading the word, So continue that legacy. Because there's a lot of people that teach a lot of different things, the sales, the prospect, the close, and all this. There's not many people, man, that get into the spiritual. Joe Dispenza does in his own way, but I can't name 5 people that really teach what Bob taught. And he didn't really get a lot of credit until The Secret came out. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, The Secret. Oh my God, the law of attraction. And he's been teaching this stuff for, at the time, 54 years. So carrying that legacy, I love the profession I'm in. It gets a lot of flack, but when you look at insurance, solar, network marketing, real estate, there's a lot of similarities there. Like you get what you're worth, but I love building teams. I love leadership. I love working with a guy that's making $500 a month. And then we look up 10 years later and he's made $8 million with us, stuff like that. I love that impact.
Do you ever see a point in your life where you retire?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the word retire, if you hated what you were doing, I guess it would make sense because you're like, I hate this. Why would I keep doing this?
Right.
But I'm in flow state 24/7.
Right.
Like I love doing stuff like this. I love talking and training and helping and coaching. Like I would do that. Like, this is what I love to do.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. Like for me, the definition of a retirement is choice every day, right? Like that I choose what I do. And in that definition, I've been retired for a very long time, right? And because most people in today's society do not choose what they do every day.
They
do it out of force. They have to go to work. They have to pay the bills. They have to show up. They have to do this, that, and the other. And whenever you do things out of obligation rather than choice and decisiveness, it's just a complete recipe for disaster.
Completely.
Oh,
completely.
Man. So I love that that's where your mind is because I agree with that.
I want to help people. I want to help people break free, man. I feel like people are enslaved to the millionth degree. It's like they wake up to an alarm, they drive in traffic, they go somewhere they don't want to be. They're told what to do, when to go home, when to eat lunch, when to go to the bathroom. Like I have some friends in corporate America where, like, if you're in the restroom too long, you're getting like notified on your phone.
It's crazy.
It's like, how the can you live like that, man?
So what advice do you give to somebody like that that's stuck in that rat race?
Yeah, stay in the rat race to pay your bills and feed yourself and your family. But when you go home, man, learn a new skill.
Yeah.
Maybe it's trading in the foreign exchange markets. Maybe it's learning wholesale flipping real estate. Maybe it's getting your life insurance license, and you're gonna go sell some life insurance from 6 to 8 on Zoom because people do it on Zoom now. I got buddies in solar that make a killing, and there's no license for selling solar, man. Yeah. Learn how to sell. get some leads, and get good. Like, what do you do when you go home? You know what they do? They go home and they're drinking estrogen-filled beer. They're on their damn phone, probably watching TikTok bullshit. They're in 15 fantasy, hockey, baseball. I'm in one fantasy football league, and it's fun. I look at it once a week with my cousins and stuff. It's cool. But it's like, if I was worth, if I had $40,000 in a checking account, and I hated my job, and I have a wife, and I got kids coming in the next 2 to 3 years, dude, the last things I would do would be sit on a couch and watch the Cleveland Browns play the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm a huge sports guy too.
Yep.
Grew up playing football, captain of my football team. I wasn't, I was a good leader. I wasn't the best football player, but I love sports and stuff, but it's like, you can't just give all your time to people that don't even know you exist.
Right.
Like, go out there and become the All-American in your own life.
Well, I think the sad part about it, like, modern day slavery is real, right? The master is the job, right? And it literally controls that whole aspect of life after work, right? They drink to forget work. They sit on the couch to numb their mind from work, right? They watch the game to numb their mind from work. Like, everything is centered around this, rather than, to your point, like going and taking control and doing some of these side hustles. In fact, the guy so we're renting the studio right here in Las Vegas. This guy, it was really interesting. I was talking to my business partner out here, is like, this guy is doing all the side hustles. He's got like 45 Turo vehicles out here. He's running out of this little shop. He's running Amazon FBA. He has ATMs, like literally everything that is like the side hustle. This guy's doing it. He's making it as like a full-time side hustle. It wouldn't be what I'd choose to do full-time to actually scale, but it works for him. Good on him. But like there are so many ideas out there.
So many.
Like this. I mean, freak, even go and drive Uber while you're thinking about a new idea.
Dude, we were in San Francisco last weekend for the 49ers Cowboys game. Guy picks us up in Uber. He just got here. I forget, it might have been Benin, West Africa. Comes here with little to nothing.
Nothing.
He straight up told me, I make $1,500 a week driving Uber. I rent this car, no money down. So I pay my car payment in 3 days. The rest of the month,
he nets it out.
I'm making money.
And he chooses his schedule. That's the crazy.
He can drive at 2 a.m.
Right. He can do whenever he wants. And the thing is it takes no energy to drive, right? Like, you could literally be there, listen to your music.
Or a podcast.
Meditating, listen to an audio book, listen to a podcast. Yeah, a podcast. Like, there's so many things. Like, you can develop incredible ideas while you're getting paid to go and do this outside of your normal job.
Because I've traveled to so many countries and like poor places in Mexico, Honduras, Nicaragua. Yes. I've seen Nigeria, where these very, very thin women are carrying buckets of water on their heads. I've seen Peru, where people don't have shoes on in certain areas. I've been to Brazil, where they told me there's the favelas in Brazil are so dangerous. The police, the cops won't even go into a certain like level in this community. Like, there's no law and order, like zero.
Right.
So when I see stuff like that, I come back to America. I pissed off a lot of people here. I was speaking in Dallas last weekend. I said some different things. I used some choice words, but it's all the truth.
Right.
Like, if you're in this country and you're making excuses, dude, it's a joke. It really is, though. It's a disgusting joke.
When you're blaming privilege, you're making all these, oh my gosh.
The president, it's like, dude, let me take you to some of these places I've been, man.
And you see the hustle from these people, right? Like they are grinding. I mean, you go to any of these third world countries, I've been to a lot of them. Like, they have their house, in front of their house is a little shop. Every single one of them, you've seen it, right? Like, these guys are doing anything possible to make an extra dime just to put food on the table.
We were in Tulum, Mexico a couple weeks ago for my little sister's 30th birthday. Young kids are in the street at the red light, and they're performing soccer tricks, juggling the balls. It's 100 degrees, humid as, and I'm thinking, over here they're giving effort doing something. You go into Vegas, we get in the car right now, dude, within 15 minutes, you're going to see 15 beggars. Most of them, it's very sad, are on these narcotics.
Right.
Like fentanyl is like this. It's like I go to LA. I was in LA 3 p.m. on a Friday. No joke. A little bit outside of Beverly Hills, like LA, Hollywood area. People are injecting themselves on the sidewalk
and you
at 3 p.m.
Yes, it's wild.
So I guess what's the message with all that? If you are fortunate and blessed enough to live in a country like America, as bad as people still may think it is, dude, it's still better than a lot of countries. Let's say 99%. Okay?
Amen.
So stop making excuses.
So much opportunity out there if we will just put in the time, the effort, learn, develop. I mean, so I have a buddy. He's Indian. He's from India natively, but lives in the U.S., right? He actually commutes between, so he owns a place in Miami, D.C., and New York. And uber wealthy. And he's like, dude, it's easy here. Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean?
I hear that too.
What do you mean it's easy here? He's like, dude, all these guys only want to work 40 hours a week. All I got to do is work 65 hours a week, and I beat them at their own game over and over. I win every government contract. I win this, and this. Dude, this guy's worth several $100 million.
Wow.
Right? And he's just like, man, there's so much opportunity, and everybody just wants to work their 40 hours and cry about why they can't make it.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable. So let it be known, Mr. and Mrs. Listeners, there's so much opportunity for you right now. You heard it first right here from Mr. Alex Morton. Alex, dude, thank you so much for being on the show. Where is a good spot that we can follow you? Instagram, what's the best spot?
Instagram, Alex Morton Mindset. In my link, I have a Telegram channel completely free.
Absolutely.
And then YouTube, Alex Morton Mindset. Very simple.
Awesome. And if they ever want to get a hold of you, DMs, what's the best place? They want to hire you as a speaker?
DMs, and there's some emails on my link in bio.
Very cool, man. You brought so much great value to the show today. Last but not least, we've got a young hustler out there. They're thinking about launching their first business, maybe getting into network marketing, or somebody that they just can't take that next step. Like they're kind of on the brink, maybe even thinking about giving up.
Yeah.
What advice you got for them?
Well, number one, don't give up, and don't get fooled by social media trying to make you think all of these people got rich like this. A lot of the crap that we see, everything I say, rented car, rented house, rented girls, rented boats. A lot of it's rented and a lot of it's nonsense. So stop thinking, oh my God, I've been doing this business for 6 months and I'm not a millionaire, right? That's number one. Number two, build you. Work on you. You know, Bob Proctor told me, Alex, if you're going to spend 90 minutes a day building your business, you best spend at least 45 a day building yourself. Ooh. Books, audios, videos, get into rooms with people like, you know, Mr. Chris over here, bump shoulders, bump elbows, shake hands. If you have to pay to get in certain rooms, pay to get in certain rooms. I've spent a lot of money on mentorship, right? But if you're listening to this and you're down and out, you don't have a lot of money, find something, again, a vehicle that can pay you what you're worth, and then find someone that has what you want. There's somebody, like insurance, solar, real estate, network marketing, there's somebody in your field earning $1 million a year, probably $1 million a month.
Yep. Reverse
engineer how they did it and just get to work, man. You have to know where you are, where you're going, and then you got to get busy.
I love it. And the last thing I would add to that, just don't overthink it.
Yep.
Right? No analysis by paralysis.
Yeah.
So, dude, appreciate you so much, Alex. Thank you for your time. Until next time.